exhibit to prevent another. His name is Houdini.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, the big thing today, a forensic expert testified today in the George Zimmerman trial.
Joining us now, we've got our legal experts here.
Not Rusty the Red Panda.
Not the Red Panda. he's behind bars now. Okay, so big day. Another medical examiner taking the stand. We're talking about the potential for actually seeing a reenactment of this. But they've got some sort of model they could put together. Is that true?
They had about 2 hours of debate this morning and an hour and a half this afternoon over animation, over basically a cartoon with Pixar technology, you know, what you see in video games, guys trying to recreate this. And I think after all of this, no matter what Zimmerman spin on it, it's not going to come in.
For people who couldn't watch this today, what was the biggest piece of information they needed to learn?
Well, what I got the key thing was the medical examiner who's testifying, who's a renowned expert in it, indicated that the gun muzzle was up against the shirt, but the shirt was 2 to 4 inches away from the body. And to me, what that means is if I'm laying backwards, my shirt's going to lay against me. If I'm laying over someone, my shirt will be pulled away from me. So I tend to think that what that supports is, it might have been up against him, but Trayvon was on top of him. His shirt was draped forward, and that's how we got that 2 to 4 inches. So I thought that was critical.
John, does that make a difference to you?
It does. You know, Bernie did about as well as he's done all trial with cross-examination and pointing out almost the reasonable doubt within this expert's theory. Now it's the state's burden, so that's a problem. But at least he made some points. Tomorrow I might want to try to demonstrate what my theory is maybe with Richard with George not being able to, with Trayvon on him, get to his gun. But, you know, it's still they missed a chance to physically demonstrate, which the defense has done a wonderful job with audio and video and trying to do animation, even though it's probably not going to come in, that, again, we're still not quite showing the magic.
Sure. Also, these arguments happened this morning, whether or not to allow the fact that Trayvon Martin had traced small amounts of THC in his system. Why would that need to be brought into play? What would that have to do with anything?
Sure. Well, I've always thought that was going to come in. I had never had a doubt in my mind. When the judge initially ruled that wasn't coming in, the state was trying to keep it out. I am personally doing this long enough, I totally knew that was coming in. Because on the tape, when he's talking to 911, the non-emergency, he says, I think this kid's on drugs. We have a medical examiner who says, yes, there are drugs in his system. It's absolutely relevant again with Florida case law. It may not carry the day, but it's going to support his argument, and the state's not going to be able to say, well, he just made that up. It's going to support his argument.
John, relevant?
Depends on I don't think so. It depends on what 6 women think of whether it's relevant. You know, again, I'd argue the counterpoint, why do you get out and chase somebody you think is on drugs who's mean to you, you know, who's looking at you and trying to intimidate you? But, you know, he did, and it, you know, it's going to tell that part of the story.
Okay, guys, well, we appreciate the time. Of course, we do have several poll questions on firstcoastnews.com. We have a whole section dedicated to the Zimmerman trial, specifically things involving the 911 call screams. That's been a big point. Want to definitely get your votes on that, and also the thoughts about when the jury will get the case. Guys, quickly, I know we've got to wrap up, got to head to weather, but we could see closing statements. We're talking about
soon.
Sure. I mean, I think the defense has indicated they may rest on Wednesday. If that's the case, the state will put on something Thursday, legal arguments Thursday afternoon. I could see it going to closing arguments Friday morning.
I just feel like we're going to be doing legal segment with Chantal here.
It's developing to be the perfect story, especially if what we're saying is true, and the jury gets it come Saturday. Tim, wondering, you know, again, kind of this whole thing's coming together for an active weekend, looks like.
There is a particular computer model that puts Chantal right over the courthouse on Saturday.